Earlier this year, I did a story about the popularity of bird watching in Northeast Ohio. People from all over the world flock to Lake Erie shores to watch as millions of birds fly north to their breeding grounds. But what goes up must come down, and the fall bird migration is just as spectacular. However, there are obstacles. So I returned along with the birds to find out what's happening when they're flying south and the help here at home. During the busy fall season, there's another annual autumnal event here in Northeast Ohio that may fly under the radar, although actually shows up on radar.
What's all this green, Rob?
Do you want me to say?
Yes, go ahead.
They're birds. They're migrating birds.
That's right.
More than 20 million birds can move through Ohio a night during fall bird migration, which peaks here September through mid-October.
We send and receive migrating birds.
I first chatted with birding expert Jen Brumfield with Cleveland Metro Parks earlier this year during spring migration, when birds are heading north to their summer breeding grounds. Now they're flying south for winter.
When we talked before, you said Lake Erie acts like a big gas station where these migratory birds stop to rest and refuel. Is it the same for the fall migration too?
It is. It absolutely is. Some will even use us as one of their last stops before they take off and make the huge flight down to Mexico, Central America. I mean, it's just incredible.
They migrate at night, navigating by stars and acutely attuned to weather patterns.
Our natural world operates so differently than, human mind can comprehend. It's spectacular.
There's an ovenbird.
But it's where the natural and human worlds collide that this spectacular journey can turn perilous for the birds.
So they don't actually die from a broken neck, they actually die from cranial swelling.
An estimated billion birds die a year from colliding with buildings, especially with glass surfaces.
We're just going to medicate this guy and then we're going to put him away since we already weighed him.
Tim Jasinski is a wildlife rehabilitation specialist at the Lake Erie Nature and Science Center. He tells me they get about 3,000 birds a year. They're brought in by Lights Out Cleveland volunteers who collect the fallen flyers overnight from downtown sidewalks. They say lights can disorient and draw them into the buildings, causing the birds to strike windows or circle until they fall from exhaustion.
So about a third are alive that are collected, and we actually have a really good success release rate. Every year is different, but it's actually over 90%, which is huge.
Yes, it's rewarding.
This is why Tim and volunteers like Hannah Leshu do it.
We're giving them a second chance.
Birds they've nursed back to health being released back into nature. A special moment they allowed me to experience as well.
That is so sweet to see. Oh my goodness.
We've lost 25% of our songbird population since the 70s. It's gone, it's not coming back. They're really fighting against the fight to try to survive. So
They need us to be on their side.
They do, yeah, they do.
And Tim tells me they partnered with a Pennsylvania lab to tag and track some of the birds they rehab to learn how they do once they're released. And he says they have seen some early data that some of the birds have gone on to make multiple migrations. So how can you help? Well, keep your lights low or off when safe to do so during migration periods. If you see a bird collision, put that bird in a shoebox or a dark bag and get it to a licensed rehabilitator right away. There are also little dot patterns that can be put on windows to help prevent these bird strikes. And plant native trees, bushes, and flowers in your yard to help support habitats. Also, both the Nature Center and Lights Out Cleveland need more volunteers, so I'll post links to do that in my story that you can find on the News 5 app and website. And it was interesting talking with him. He said, the 3,000 birds they get a year. He said it is heavier in the fall because it makes sense. You have those hatchlings coming down, making their first migratory flight. Yeah, they just don't understand that. They think it's their habitat, foraging habitat continuing. So
it's fantastic.
There are some things we can do to help.
Yeah, and Mark's already taken credit for writing some of that package.
You guys were excellent in it. I thank you for your cameo.
Way to go, Mark. Yeah. Way to go, Katie. That was really good.